Hey guys, it's Jimmy and Rebecca here from Made for More, and we're really excited to launch our new video series, Where's Your Head At? As we look at some of the major mental health issues that are impacting your life. This week we're kicking off with stress, and we want to help you navigate stress in your life. The reality is we all get stressed. This morning I was stressed, even just getting out of the house to come and make these videos. But stress is not something to be scared of. Stress is something that every single one of us will face every day. And it's actually the body's reaction to change. When the body perceives there's a threat coming or there's an unknown situation on its way, all of a sudden it goes into fight or flight mode. The adrenaline kicks in, the heartbeat starts to increase. And for some of us, that can be a little bit unnerving. We don't know how to process it. So today we hope to be able to navigate that and help you to de-stress and actually get that under control.
And to kick us off, what we want you guys to do is to get into groups, okay? So wherever you are, get into groups. And as you do that, think about the question, what is it that makes you stressed during the day? And if you could make a list of those and then share them with your group. We asked some of our friends here at Made for More, what is it that makes them stressed? And here is what they said.
Moving schools and then choosing different subjects.
Coming up to exams definitely causes me stress.
When maybe the teacher asks me to do something in class.
So now that we know some of the things that might make us feel a little bit stressed, we want to look at what will happen if we don't actually deal with that, because things are going to come that will make us feel stressed. But what happens if we just let that build up, don't de-stress and don't do anything about it? Well, it can look different for different people. For some people, it might actually look like exploding in anger. You might go home after school one day, your little brother or sister might be there, arms open wide and ready to see you, and you might just lash out at them. And so you start to actually damage relationships with your family. Or it might look like emotionally, you just breaking down. You might just reach a certain point of stress, you're sitting doing your homework and you just burst into tears because you just can't take it anymore. So what we would love you guys to be able to do is to build up resilience. And this word, you might hear it a lot, but it's actually just building up like a little buffer between you and the rest of the world. And for all of us, we need that, whether we are young or whether we're old. We need resilience so that we can face the world. And so when it comes to stress, what we want to do is build up that level of resilience so that we can de-stress and deal with it in a really healthy way.
Brilliant, thanks Rebecca. So what we want you to do now in your groups is to think about how can we de-stress. I want you to write down one way that you de-stress, and then in your groups you're going to take it in turns to act out what you've written down, and your group have to guess what is that one thing you do to de-stress. Here's a quick example of what we want you to do. Rebecca, I want you to think of what you do to de-stress,
okay,
and I want you to act it out for me.
All right.
Okay, let me see it. Tickling cats.
No,
No,
not tickling
that's
cats.
okay.
No, as much as it looks like that, no.
Piano.
Yes.
Playing the piano.
Playing the
Brilliant.
piano.
So simple as that. What is it that you do to de-stress? Write it down, act it out, and have a whole lot of fun. When we think of resilience, we want you to think of these dominoes. Because the reality is in life, if stress comes along and we're not prepared for it, and we don't have that buffer, all of a sudden it just knocks everything down around us, like if I was to tap this domino. But if we were able to use those different things you were chatting about in your groups to de-stress and de-escalate a situation, it's almost like removing two of these dominoes. And now all of a sudden, when the stressful situation comes along, instead of everything in your life falling down around it, it has less of an impact. And that's what resilience does. So for me in my life, when I think about looking after my own mental health and de-stressing, I love to go to the gym and I love to talk to friends. And there are two things that I try to do as often as possible, which means when the stressful situation comes my way, I've got that buffer that stops maybe everything around me coming crumbling down.
And so what we would love to do for you guys is really make this personal, because we know that these stressful situations are gonna come. And so maybe for you, it might be exams coming up in school or things like that that stress you out and you know are coming. So what we want to do is plan for that. Using all of those things that you had talked about in your groups, we would love for you guys to take a couple of minutes and come up with your own personal self-care plan for what you're going to do around that time. So when exams come up, if it's go out for a walk, if it's play the piano, schedule in that time so that you are ready to face it.
We asked some of our friends at Made for More to share their top tips on how to de-stress and create that buffer and build resilience. Check it out.
Before exams, what I tend to do is the night before, get a really early night. It helps me get a good night's sleep.
I like to listen to relaxing music and just go to bed early that night and maybe do something that I love, so watch a good movie or show.
I would love to listen to music or just take a wee walk with my dog.
I love doing things that I love to do, so I would maybe go for a walk with my family or my friends and maybe do a little dance.
As we think about stress, we want you then to also think about all the different strategies that you can use that will work for you. There's no one size fits all to this. What I do will be very different to what Rebecca does. But one of the strategies that we love to share is using your senses to just de-escalate a situation, to hopefully reduce stress and bring you back very much into the present and the now. So we're going to do that now. I'm going to walk you through it. Rebecca's going to do it for you here, and then you can get to try that in your class within your groups. So the first thing I want you to do, Rebecca, is close your eyes, take a deep breath, and then open your eyes, and tell me 5 things that you can see around you in this room.
So I can see the walls, the doors, the windows, shoes, and a chair.
Brilliant. Okay, so that's 5 things we can see. Now I want you to think about 4 things that you could touch. Maybe just on your own person. What are you touching? What does it feel like?
Jumper, ring, jeans, and my hair.
Brilliant. Now I want you to think about 3 things that you can hear if you listen really quietly.
So I can hear the sound of your voice, I can hear the traffic out in the distance, and I can hear just people talking in the corridors.
Brilliant. Now I want you to think of 2 things that you can smell. Now be kind here.
Whew. I can smell my hair, shampooed, washed, lovely. And I can just smell like the room, like the general smell of the room. It's like wooden panels. Wooden panels.
Brilliant. And then the final thing, 1 thing that you can taste.
Toothpaste.
Toothpaste. Good answer.
Yeah.
It's a very simple exercise, and we'd love you now to do that in your groups just as we conclude this video, and just to think about all the things that you can see, hear, touch, smell and taste. And what that does, it allows your brain to just sort of de-stress and be very present in the moment.
Yeah, and especially when you're using your senses like that, really focus on what it is you can touch and smell. That will definitely de-stress you. And so just as we finish, we have absolutely loved this session with you guys. We want to point you to an app that you might find really helpful. So again, very personal, see what works for you. There's an app called Chill Panda, and it's got loads of breathing exercises, loads of things that can really calm you down if you are feeling anxious. But we have absolutely loved being with you this morning, so thank you so much.
Brilliant. And join in for the next session as we look at anxiety.